sorry if I seem a little distracted.
What's so important they have to tell Kristina?
I'm afraid it's going to upset you.
You know what? I really don't want to hear about it. I can't take any more bad news, so if it's not really, really important, can we just wait until we get home?
Well, you can thank Spanky for the bailout. What the hell happened to you?
Apparently, animals who like to beat little girls don't fare well inside. Especially when that little girl is Sonny's only daughter. I was lucky enough to get thrown into a cell with one of Sonny's thugs. He apparently didn't get the memo that the charges had been dropped.
Come with me. Hey! I know what you bastards are up to.
Excuse me?
This is the oldest cop trick in the book.
In the ER, where I was just a few hours before me.
I never expected a cop to the truth.
Well, maybe you're forgetting the short fuse your son has. Might explain the kiefer-sized dent on the hood of your car.
Well, actually, I was just going to say that you can't go home tonight.
Mom?
No, they just want to keep you here for some observation.
No. That's ridiculous. I'm perfectly fine to go home. I have to go home. I can't stay here. Last night, I stared at the ceiling all night thinking about how Kiefer died right downstairs in the ER, where I was just a few hours before, maybe even in the same cubicle.
It's only one night.
Mom, you have to talk to someone. I can't stay here another night with nothing to do but think about all the things that I could have done differently.
You didn't
so
do
Kiefer
anything
could still be alive.
wrong. There's nothing you could have done.
No, I
It's not
did.
your fault.
I threw myself at Ethan, a guy who didn't even want me in the first place.
You need to calm
No wonder
down.
Kiefer got so mad.
For God's sake, Kristina, stop blaming yourself for everything.
Might as well have been driving the car that ran Kiefer over.
You listen to me. This is not your fault. You can grieve for Kiefer, and you have the right to feel embarrassed that you misread Ethan's intentions. You can even be angry at the person who ran Kiefer down and left him there to die. You have a right to all of those things. Feel everything you want, but please, Kristina, do not feel guilt, please.
I don't know how to stop. Everything just keeps getting worse and worse. This nightmare is just never going to end.
All I know about Kiefer's parents, Warren and Melissa.
Melinda.
Okay, Melinda, is that they're members of the country club and that Warren is a business associate of Jack's. Are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, Melinda and Warren Bauer. Okay, where are you going with this?
Why don't you watch my lips? It might help. Luke's son, Ethan, your cousin, has been arrested for the hit-and-run death of the Bauer's son. Luke and I believe he's innocent.
Okay, what do you want me to do about it?
I want you to use your influence with Jax to convince the Bauers not to tar and feather Ethan before a proper investigation is done.
Yeah, you're talking to the wrong person. When it comes to guilty and innocence and what constitutes punishment, Jax and I couldn't be further apart. But he's real high on believing he's right these days, so you should get him on Ethan's side. Jax gets results. No one gets better results than Jax. Excuse me. Hello, Carly Jax.
Mrs. Jax, this is Principal Danforth from Queen of Angels.
Hi. Is there a problem with Morgan?
I'm not sure. A policeman and a social worker took Morgan out of school.
My son's been falsely arrested twice. And now he gets his face rearranged. Well, it's on your watch.
Come on, Luke, you're no stranger to the block. Prisoners fight. To mark territory. I don't know, maybe you looked at him cross-eyed.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what I know. I know a cop can get the job done without having to leave his desk.
Are you seriously accusing me of something right now?
Look, I don't think this is really getting us anywhere. All right, what's done is done. I would just like to leave.
Go. But you stop by the hospital and get this documented. We may have a legal situation here.
Come on, this is not the first time I've been hit.
Are you going to go over there or am I going to drag you?
Fine. You know, if I'm lucky, maybe I'll get a lollipop for my owie.
Don't leave town.
Oh, why would I leave when I'm having so much fun?
You, Luke's father, I really want for us to get along, and I'm telling you what I know to be truth. There is no police plot to hurt your kid.
Right. I ain't buying it.
Look, I know, I understand. You don't like cops, you don't trust them. In your mind, Ethan's been persecuted. But this is the way the system works and doesn't work. Kristina ID'd Ethan as her attacker. Wheels were set in motion. He was arrested. He would still be up on that charge if not a second if Lucky and I hadn't found out the truth and got her to confirm it. Kiefer Bauer, the actual attacker, gets hit in a car and dies on a lonely road. And Ethan's car has correlating damage to the front end. Wheels are set in motion again. Ethan gets arrested. That's when it's working. When it doesn't work is when prisoners get their asses kicked in police custody. I don't condone it, but it happens.
Thanks for the civics lesson, Junior. See, the problem is I'm hearing words coming from the mouth of a pig who lied his way into a criminal organization and is now trying to pull the wool over my daughter's eyes. Well, I ain't so easily duped. Now, you people stop using my kid as a scapegoat, or I swear to God I'll rain hell down on this department like you can't even imagine.
So far, no luck with Kiefer's parents. I did, however, put a call into Jack's because Warren, the father, and Jack's are business associates.
Kiefer's parents are the least of Ethan's worries.
Now what?
Hey, okay, so I'm officially worried now. This is the first time I've ever received a family emergency call from you. What terrible thing has happened to whom?
Ethan, courtesy of your boyfriend and his comrades in blue.
What are you talking about?
Dante deliberately tossed Ethan in a cell with a felon he knew would beat the hell out of him.
What? I'm sorry, that's absurd.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, tell that to Ethan's face.
Dante would not do that.
Honey, you don't know what Dante would do. He waltzed into town on a lie, and he's been dancing it for months. Undercover cops are the best liars in the world. Now, you have got to decide whose back you're going to cover before this mess gets ugly for real.
Are you friggin' kidding me right now? Mr. Undependable, Mr. I won't let the door hit me. You're actually standing there right now and asking me to choose family over Dante.
You take that family out of quotes. We are a family.
Since when does that matter to you?
Well, maybe I'm getting senile in my old age, all right? I happen to care about my kids. Right now, I've got a son who's being accused of every damn crime in this bloody town, and he got set up for a thumping by your boyfriend and his friends.
Lucky's in that group, too.
Lucky is different.
How?
Lucky only became a cop to piss me off. He only stays one because he's stubborn. Dante, on the other hand, is a cop because it suits him.
I happen to think that that's admirable.
Really?
Yeah.
You must be blinded by the badge. Maybe it's shiny, but it's no halo, baby. Just because a guy's wearing it doesn't mean the man in uniform is not a thug. Mobsters and cops, same side of the coin. They both have the same ego, they both have the same power trip going. Now you better decide which one you're going to stand with before you get squeezed in the middle.
What happened to you?
Well, I got frustrated, getting thrown in jail for things I didn't do, so I started banging my head against a wall.
Smart ass. Follow me.